Hi everybody, so I've just finished doing my yoga practice here on the roof terrace in Morocco. I'll show you the view. It's here in a little village called Tamrat. You can see the bay, the ocean. Today it's quite misty, so the ocean and the sky are one. And in the distance you can see the mosque or the watchtower. There's one that's even closer, which in the ancient world would have been the offices of the Magdalene, her name meaning watchtower. And this was a land where Venus was once venerated, celebrated. You can see all the homes behind me are in the same colours of the desert. And when I first came here in 2023, I did a ceremony on top of a mountain at dawn during an eclipse to resurrect the ancient goddess. Tanit was the name by which she was worshipped here, but it's the ascended Venus. And today being Good Friday, a day when people are celebrating the resurrection of the Christos, the crystalline man, i.e. one who has done the great work of inner alchemy, transmuting the shadow, what's unconscious, into the light of understanding, pure golden consciousness. Today I sang the name of the goddess by all her names actually. Here, literally, praised her name from the rooftops because the land here is calling priestess women, calling us to reawaken her energy, those of us that have opened up the remembrance codes of the goddess within us from those lifetimes thousands of years ago when she was celebrated and honoured. And just our presence being here helps to unveil her. And I'm blessed to be in Morocco. Morocco is a deeply sacred culture, and the feminine, it's ironic, it is honoured here, but it's also dishonoured. Like in every culture, you know, I was saying to someone the other day, it's like different flavours of ice cream, different flavours of misogyny. Misogyny looks different in every culture that I've travelled to, but it's prevalent everywhere. So, you know, praise to all of the sisters who are doing that work of remembering her, of honouring our female form, honouring our temple by daring to assert our boundaries, our limits. You know, I've had not a situation, but you get a lot of male interest here. There's a lot of lonely men here because the women are, you know, segregated, kept away. And the men are desperate for female company, but bless them, they have no idea of, in my experience anyway, of how to really hear a woman who is speaking her choices, her needs. It's like they've all been conditioned to think that women exist purely for them, that they stay at home and cook and clean and await their homecoming. And so, you know, there's an irony where they'll be so, you know, incredibly gracious and honouring of you, you know, inviting to cook for you, inviting, you know, I had one man make me a personalised crossword with my name. I mean, you know, they do gestures that are an echo of the ancient courtship, the sharing of one's inner self, which in my experience has been bereft in the West. You know, it's more about hookups and just a lack of understanding the art of courtship, which I wrote about in my Sacred Union book. In fact, there's a chapter, the 7 dates at the 7 gates, you know, connecting from the crown down. But I really have a sense that the land is calling us in, the women that have unveiled the feminine within ourselves, the true feminine, not the distortion of the feminine that we see everywhere during this end game of patriarchy, but the women who have listened to the call, who have taken the descent journey to meet the different aspects of the feminine that map the psyche, the feminine half of the psyche, that awaken the meridian of Shakti, that is our serpent power. And here with those that have eyes to see, you can see the goddess is ever present. You know, when I was doing my yoga this morning and chanting, there was a dove that joined me, and doves were sacred to the goddess. You often see statues of the dove sitting on her head. And I would love to welcome you here. I'm running a women's retreat for the next eclipse, which is going to be big, given that this year, you know, we have the lunar nodes in Pisces, the sign of the mystic. And so we're all being put through a massive initiation, a death and rebirth. So if you're feeling like you could use some support, I've created this retreat for the women that are journeying perimenopause. And this is a very powerful time. It's an alchemy. It's not understood. And so, you know, I understand the women that become so desperate with the brain fog and with physiological symptoms that they reach out and get HRT. I get it. And no judgment. You do whatever gets you through. But I'm on a mission to share my experience of how it can be a shamanic journey, and a journey that has been profound in terms of awakening and becoming. So if you'd like to understand the metaphysics of perimenopause, I invite you to join me for a week. And we're going to have an incredible time. I'll put a link in the post, you can check it out. I've got an early bird special on at the moment, so if you do want to come, now's a great time to book, because if you put the code launch special 2025, all in capitals, in at checkout, you get 150 US off the price. So yeah, if you've got Morocco on your bucket list, if the land of Venus has been calling you, then this is a wonderful opportunity. All right, thanks so much for watching. Have a beautiful Good Friday wherever you are in the world. Ciao for now.